My dear friends, I am going to explain these properties and shortcuts with examples. Okay, see the examples. Consider the matrix A with elements 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, 6, 0, 0, 0. Now the question is, what is determinant of this matrix? So the answer, I know that many of you know the answer. Whenever you find a 0 row, 0 column, the determinant of the matrix is 0. So you can simply do the Laplace expansion along this row, then determinant would be 0. Next example. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Now if you observe, the first and third rows are identical. We call them as identical rows. And whenever you see identical rows, columns, means two rows are same, columns are same, the determinant would be 0. See, I am writing the property with example. Okay, like that. Let us take next example. I'll write here 3, 5, 1, 2, 1, 3, 6, 10 and 2. In this particular example, we don't have 0 row and we don't have same rows. But if you observe, R3 is 2 times of R. Such rows are called proportional rows. You can also call them as dependent rows. So whenever you find proportional rows, columns, the determinant of the matrix would be 0. Okay, like that. Next example. Now consider this particular example. So here we don't have any of these properties, but if you add elements in first row, the answer is 0. That is, sum of the elements in first row is 0. Sum of the elements in second row is also 0. Sum of the elements in third row is also 0. That is, elements in each row add up to 0 or elements in each column add up to 0, then determinant of the matrix would be 0. See here, sum of the column elements is not 0, but either sum of the elements in each row is 0 or sum of the elements in each column is 0, then also determinant would be 0. Simple properties. So we completed 4 properties. Next one is interesting property. Consider the following example. 0, 2, minus 3, minus 2, 0, 5, 3, minus 5, 0. Now the question is, what is determinant of this matrix? Okay, we don't have 0 row, we don't have identical rows. Okay, none of the previous 4 properties are satisfied. Okay, those who know the idea, this is called skew symmetric matrix. It is called skew symmetric matrix. So the condition for skew symmetric matrix is the ith row jth column element is equal to minus of jth row ith column element. So whatever element you are having, the same element will be here with opposite sign. So if you take the main diagonal as mirror, so these two elements, that is the images, are having opposite sign. That is simple way of looking at skew symmetric matrix. So Generally, what people do, skew symmetric matrix determinant is 0. This is the biggest blunder which they do it. But please remember, that is not the property. Okay, let me tell you why. Consider this 2 by 2 skew symmetric matrix. It is also skew symmetric matrix, same condition is satisfied here. Okay, so what is determinant of this? 2 by 2, you all know how to find it. 0 into 0 minus of minus 2 into 2, that is 0 minus 2 into 2 is minus 4. Okay. Minus 4. So the answer is 4, which is not 0. So the biggest mistake which people do is determinant of skew symmetric matrix is 0. That is wrong. Okay, the determinant of skew symmetric matrix of odd order is 0. See why? You can prove using determinant properties or eigenvalue properties also, you can prove it. So here I am just giving you the shortcut techniques. Okay, so I am not giving you the detailed proofs and other ideas, how and all I am not discussing. Okay, simply I am discussing the property. So this is the important property. You take any skew symmetric matrix of odd order. So what is order of this? 3 by 3. You take 5 by 5, you take 7 by 7, you take 9 by 9, you take 11 by 11. Any skew symmetric matrix of odd order will have determinant 0. But skew symmetric matrix of even order is not 0. Please remember that. Is that clear? Good. Okay. Let us take next example. Okay. Consider the following matrix. 3, 4, 5, 0, 2, 6, 0, 0, 5. What type of matrix is this? Okay, this particular matrix is called upper triangular matrix. This is called upper triangular matrix. See, what is upper triangular matrix? The condition for upper triangular matrix is Aij is 0 for all I greater than j. Okay, see, the basic properties we can always review like this. Okay, again you don't have to separately learn the definitions. Within the examples we can learn the definitions. With examples it would be more clear, because Ij means for every element, you know, Ij means when you write Aij means it is ith row jth column. So if you see, this is second row first column, this element is third row first column, this element is third row second column, and whenever I is greater than j, the value is 0. Okay, whenever I is greater than j, the values are 0. That is the condition for upper triangular matrix. And you know the determinant of upper triangular matrix is simply product of main diagonal elements. You can simply take the product of main diagonal elements. That is, okay, I'll just change the color. 3 into 2 into 5. 3 to 6, 6 5 is 30. You can directly get the answer. Next one. A is equal to 2 0 0 3 6 0 2 5 7. So this is called lower triangular matrix. This is called lower triangular matrix. So for this also the condition we can easily write Aij is equal to 0 for all. Can you please tell the condition, sir? What is the condition? I less than j. Simple. Okay. And for this lower triangular matrix also the determinant is simply product of main diagonal elements. That is 2 into 6 into 7. Okay. Please write the answer. Clear? So the answer is 84. Clear? One more result I'll write in the next slide. Three zero zero 020 00 say 5. Now this is called diagonal matrix. See, for the diagonal matrix, the condition is all off diagonal elements. See, these three are diagonal elements. Remaining elements are called off diagonal elements. So all off diagonal elements are 0. That is, the condition is Aij is equal to 0 for all I not equal to j. Okay. These three elements are having the condition that I equal to j, like 1 1 2 2 element, third row third column element. Okay, like that. Even for diagonal matrix, the determinant is simply product of main diagonal elements, that is 3 into 2 into 5. Okay, so you can calculate that. 6 5s 30. Is the idea clear? Like that. And you know, this is called identity matrix. I'll write I3, the 3 by 3 matrix, which is identity. So identity matrix means main diagonal elements are 1s, remaining all are 0. So it is I3 I am writing. You take any identity matrix. I4 means 4 by 4 with all main diagonals 1. For any identity matrix, the determinant would be, what are the main diagonal elements? 1 into 1 into 1, therefore determinant would be 1. So that is the idea. Clear? Now next interesting idea. Now suppose you are having a matrix, you don't know the elements, let us say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Some matrix, we don't know what is a matrix, but it is given that the determinant of this matrix is, say, 6. The transpose, what is the transpose of this matrix? The rows converted to columns and the columns are converted to rows. So the first row becomes the first column. The second row become the second column. The third row become the third column. So this is transpose of the matrix. And what is determinant of the transpose? It is also exactly same as determinant of A. Okay. So if you know the Laplace expansion, okay, then you will understand this property automatically. Is that clear? Like that. So this is the next. See, I am explaining the properties with examples. All the important properties I am explaining here. Okay. Now let us see 3 more very interesting results. Now consider this example. Let us take, you are having a 3 by 3 matrix, say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. See, I am not using numbers because for any matrix the story is same. So if you understand, even if I give examples, you can write the answer similarly for this. So this is a 3 by 3 matrix. Assume that its determinant is, okay, say 5. Now there are 3 important operations, elementary operations called elementary row operations. We also have elementary column operations. Okay, but I'll tell you about elementary row operations and I tell you how can you skip completely elementary column operations. Okay, now look at this. So the 3 properties I am writing here. Suppose this is the matrix A. On this matrix, you perform a row operation. Okay, I am writing for general matrix. Say ith row is interchanged with jth column. This is called interchanging 2 rows. This notation is for interchanging 2 rows. When 2 rows are interchanged, and suppose you got a new matrix, say B, then what is determinant of this new matrix B? Okay, that is the question. So if you see this particular example, previous A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Now if you interchange R1 say with R3, you get a new matrix. See, after interchanging rows, it is not the matrix A, it is another matrix. Okay, we use this similar matrix notation for that. So the new matrix, let us call it as B. So what will be this? G H I, okay, D E F, this is D, and this is A B C. And for the new matrix, the determinant would be -5, minus of the determinant of A. So whenever if you interchange two rows, the determinant of new matrix is minus of, whenever you interchange two rows, the determinant of new matrix which is obtained is minus of determinant of the original matrix. Remember that. You want, instead of this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, you put some numbers and verify this property. Okay, I leave it as exercise for you, but remember the property. Similarly, second property, you take any row and you multiply with a non-zero constant. Here k should be non-zero, k should be non-zero, and you obtained a new matrix B. You obtained a new matrix B. Then what will be the determinant of this new matrix B? Remember, whenever any single row is multiplied with a non-zero constant, you get a new matrix, and the determinant of that new matrix is k times determinant of A. K times determinant of A. Please remember this second property. Got it? So for example, you take this second row, you multiply with 2. So you get a new matrix. The determinant of that new matrix will be 2 into 5, 10, like that. Okay? Because I am writing the general property, I am not using example. Okay? Like that. Now the third one is, you do this row operation called adding constant times of other row. Constant times of other row is added to a current row. You get a new matrix B. What is determinant of this new matrix B? And when you do this type of row operation, the determinant will not change, will remain the same. It is a beautiful property we use to solve many problems under determinant. Okay, so these are the three properties about rows, row operations. Okay, so what is the effect of row operations on determinant? You can simply remember them as effect of row operations on determinant. Actually, here we done row operations, but instead of row operations, if you perform similar column operations, then also the result is same. Means if you interchange two columns, determinant sign will change. If you multiply any column with a non-zero constant, determinant value will be that constant times of the original determinant, and constant times of other column is added to a particular column, then determinant will not change. But generally I skip complete column operations because there is one beautiful idea which we already done. Determinant of A transpose is determinant of A. See, in this course, most of the time we require only row operations. Okay, and here if you do column operations, there may be some confusion for people. Okay, if you don't have confusion, you can use it, but you can completely avoid column operation using this idea. Suppose you need to do a column operation, transpose the matrix. That column operation become row operations. You can just work only with row operations throughout the story. Am I clear? Like that. Hope the idea is clear. Wonderful. Let us see the next example. Okay. Now you have a matrix A. Okay. Say 2, 5, 6, 0, 7, 4, 0, 0, 1. For simplicity, I take an upper triangular matrix because you can quickly calculate the determinant. What is determinant? For upper triangular, determinant is 2 into 7 into 1, that is 14. Okay. Now what I do is I multiply this matrix with 3. That is, I got a new matrix 3A. So what is it? You have to multiply every element with 3. It's not multiplying a row or a column, it is multiplying every element with 3. So 3 2s 6, 3 5s 15, 3 6s 18, 3 zeros 0, 3 7s 21, 3 4s 12, 0 0, 3 1s 3. What is determinant of this new matrix 3A? What is determinant of this new matrix 3A? So the determinant is product of these three elements. So 6 into 21 into 3. Please simplify and verify the answer. So if you simplify, the answer is 378. Please check that. Okay. So it's like 21 3s 63 into 6. 6 3s 18, 37. Okay, 378 like that. Wonderful. Now what you do is, instead of doing this way, you can also get this answer very quickly like this. If you want to get this determinant of 3A, it is simply, what is the order of this matrix? 3 by 3, no? So the answer for this is 3 power, what is order? 3, no? 3 power 3 into det A, you do it. That is 3 3 is 9, 9 3 is 27 into 14. You get the same answer, that is 378. So this particular thing is also because of the same property. This property actually give you that next property actually, that is determinant of k times A. If A is a n by n matrix, you can just remember it as a general result. Determinant of Ka, if A is n by n matrix, is simply given by k power n into det A. Because if one row is multiplied with k, determinant is k times of A. 2 rows multiplied means k square into A. 3 rows multiplied with k means k cube into A. Because Ka means every row is multiplied with k, therefore k power n into A, that is the property. Am I clear? So that is how we get this particular result. Got it? Let us take one more example. Consider the following example: 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, okay, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it is a 4 by 4 matrix. We need to find determinant. See, what I do is, I just see the first row elements like this. Okay, 3 plus 2, 3 plus 3 and 3 plus 4 and 3 plus 5. Okay, see, actually what I observed is the first and last rows, if you observe, okay, you just add 3 to this number, then you get this element. Add 3 to this number, then you get this number. Okay, add 3 to this, then you get this particular first row element. So I just write the first row element as 3 plus that number. Okay, that is the simple observation which I made. Now this is 3 4 2 1 and this is 1 1 1 1. So the answer is 2 3. Okay, last row is 2 3 4 5. Fine. Now whenever you can write, whenever a row is sum of two elements, you can write this determinant. Means suppose it's determinant I am talking about. So let me put this as determinant of A. Okay, so we are finding determinant. Now suppose I am finding determinant of this matrix. Okay, so in this particular case, you can write this as sum of two determinants. Okay, where one determinant will have first element, that is 3 3 3 3, and the second determinant will have, okay, the second element in this sum, that is 2 3 4 5. So now what happens? Remaining as it is, remaining elements as it is, 3 4 2 1 1 1 1 1 2 3 4 5, and rest of the story same here also, 3 4 2 1 1 1 1 1 2 3 4 5. And actually if you observe, these two rows are identical. So determinant of this matrix is 0. And here in this particular case, these two rows are proportional. 3 times of third row is first row, because row 1 is 3 times of row 3. Proportional means determinant is 0, so the answer is 0. Like that we can easily get it. See, the purpose of this is to explain this particular property. I just taken this example. Okay, so whenever you can write any row as sum of two elements, you can split the determinant in two parts, where one determinant will have first elements, whereas second determinant will have the second elements in this sum. Okay, like that. Rest of the elements will be same in both the parts. So this is one more simple interesting result. Got it? Let us take the next example. So this is A, B, C, B, C, A, C, A, B. So here you are circulating this, then you are going to get the elements. So this is called actually called circulant. Okay, there is a special name for this particular determinant when you consider it as a determinant. Okay, let me put this as a determinant. So this is given a special name, they call it as circulant. Okay, and we have a formula for this. The formula for this, you please remember, 3abc minus a cube minus b cube minus c cube. Actually from algebra we have formula. Actually if a cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3abc, the answer would be a plus b plus c into a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus ac minus bc. But because it is 3abc minus that, there will be a minus sign. This result is from algebra, my dear friends. So whenever you have examples, say like 325, 253 and 5, okay, 3, 2, like this, you can use this particular formula to get the answer whenever it is a circulant form. Okay, suppose you want determinant of this matrix, you can simply use a plus b plus c, that is 3 plus 2 5 plus 5, that is 10, okay, into a square 9 plus b square 4 plus c square 25 minus ab minus 6 minus ac minus 15 minus bc, that is minus 10. If you simplify, you will get the answer. But this is only for such matrix where you have this ABC, BCA and CAB. The circulation is happening, no? So it's like ABC, when you circulate, what happens? Next comes BCA, like that you are circulating from like this. Circularly you are rotating. In such case only this result is applicable. Please simplify to get the answer. So when you simplify, you get the answer minus 10 into, I think this is 7. Please simplify and check. The answer is minus 70. Okay, let us take the next example. Okay, the next example, consider this: 1 1 1 2 3 4 4 9 16, and you want to find the determinant of this matrix. See, if you actually observe this matrix, you can see this as 1 1 1 2 3 4 2 square 3 square and 4 square. I written consecutive numbers. It's not necessary you can have 2 5 9 like that also, but I taken a simple example here. For everything it works. And whenever it is of this particular form, this is called Vandermonts determinant. What is it called? Vandermonts determinant. So we have beautiful result. I am writing it for 3 by 3. This can be extended to 4 by 4, 5 by 5, 500 by 500 matrix also. That is the beauty of this result. Okay, I am just giving you simple result for 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, see, some mathematical results, we may do it only for simple 3 by 3, but you can extend it for any matrix when it is of this particular format. Okay, so the idea is, see, whenever you have this, you can just simply see like 1 1 1 a b c, a square b square c square. Okay, that is a format. The answer for this is simply B minus A, C minus A. First you take this B minus A, C minus A. Next C minus B. In this orderly manner if you write, you will get the answer. So B is what? 3 minus 2, 4 minus 2, next 4 minus 3. That is, you fix A, B minus A, C minus A. Now next you fix B, C minus B, like that. Okay, you will get the answer. 1 into 2 into 1. So what is the answer? 2 is the answer. You want, you can please expand it and verify. Got it? Let us take the next example. Okay, 3, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay, 9, 3, 0, 0, 0, 0, 7, 0, 3, 2. So we have a 4 by 4 matrix and you want to find determinant of this. See, I am going to give you a very beautiful trick. Okay, this trick is applicable for this block matrices which are upper triangular, lower triangular or diagonal form. Okay, I try to explain this here. Please try to understand. Okay, if you can use this idea, you can solve such problems. If at all your problem is, your matrix is in that particular format, you will get the answer within no time. See the idea. See, you partition the matrix into blocks. Okay, see, it can be partitioned anywhere, but please remember one thing here. When you partition, say you may get some parts like this. Suppose you partition, you get one matrix here, you get one matrix here, you get one matrix here, you get one matrix here. Okay, this PQRS matrices, these matrices are PQRS. Now here P and S must be square matrices. For this trick to be applicable, P and Q must be square matrices. Then only it is applicable. If it is not square, you cannot apply this particular result. P and S must be square matrices. Now, either Q must be 0, R must be 0, or both must be 0. 0 means all elements 0. See, if you see this block, if you observe this R part is completely 0. This is your R part, right? Completely 0. And whenever this happens, not only this R part, Q part is 0, then also it happens. The determinant of this matrix is simply determinant of P into determinant of S. If you can partition your matrix like this, then the answer is very quick. You can easily get it. Because this part is simple, you can find determinant. It is a 2 by 2 matrix. This part is simple. Okay, you can get determinant of this. So what is the answer? Determinant of this 24 minus 14, 10. What is determinant of this? Because it is lower triangular, so it is 14 is the answer. So the answer for this matrix is 140. See, I am giving you the idea. This can be applicable for many such matrices. Okay, it can be applied for many such matrices. This result also plays very important role when you find eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Is that clear? There is a special shortcut for finding determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, there are different versions. I'll give you two versions here. Okay, let us consider the matrix. Say 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1, say 5. Some matrix. You want to find determinant of this matrix. So when you want to find determinant of this matrix, okay, there is one method where you write 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 4, 5. That is, you write the matrix as it is. What you do is, you copy and paste first two columns after the third column. That is, take the first two columns and paste it after third column. So what is the first column? Repeat it again. 2, 3, 2. What is the second column? 3, 1, 1. Okay. There is a variation that also I discuss. This is one variation. So given matrix, copy first two columns and paste it after third column. Now you take the products as described. So you have to multiply these elements, okay, in this order. So 2 into 1 into 5, that is 10. So this arrow is going in the down direction, then you take plus values for all of them, that is plus whatever answer is there. What is the answer? 10. Now you multiply 3 4s 12, 12 2s 24, plus 24. Again you multiply 1 3 is 3, 3 1 is 3, that is plus 3. Now you take arrows in the reverse direction, so whatever answer you get, you have to put a minus sign for that. Now see the three diagonals, you get it, reverse diagonals like this. Okay, we do one thing, we use a different color for this. So whatever answer you get, you put a minus sign. 2, that is minus 2. Next there is another adjacent diagonal, so take that. 1 into 4, 4 into 2, minus 8. Whatever answer, you will have a minus sign for that. 5 3 is 15, 15 3 is 45, and sign is minus 40. Now you have to sum up all these values. Okay, let us see that. 10 plus 24 plus 3 minus 2 minus 8 minus 45. If you simplify, we get the required answer. So this is 34, 37, okay, minus 10 minus 45 minus 55. So what is the answer? Minus 18 is the answer. If you want, you can directly verify, that will be the answer. Okay, so that is how we are going to get the answer. This is one technique. There is a variation for this that we discuss now. Okay, I take in the next slide. Let us see the same problem. This time what you do is, first write the matrix as it is, 3 1 4 2 1 5. See, what you do is, you have these two elements, right? You write only these elements right side here. So this one you have to write here, and this element you have to write here. Okay, this element is written here and this element is written here. Got it? Now what you do is, you have these two elements, right? So we have to write them in these positions, that is 1 here and 5 here. Okay, hope you understand. Okay, let us use two colors so that you will understand what elements gone where. These two elements were gone here and these two elements are gone here. This is the idea. Okay, so once you understand, you don't have to put the circles and round arrows. You can simply write down what is required. Okay, so I just write without arrows and other things, so that we will not have any confusion. 1 2 3 1 4 5 2 1 5 2. This is what happens. So same story as you done earlier, diagonal wise you multiplied, like that you multiply. 1 3 1, that is plus 3. 2 1 5, you multiply 2 into 1 into 5, that is plus 10, and 3 into 4 into 2, 12 into 2, 24. Now reverse diagonals. 5 into 3 into 3, 5 3 is 15, 15 3 is 45 with a minus sign. 2 into 1 into 1, that is minus 2. 1 into 4 into 2, that is minus 8. So if you simplify all this, you get the required answer, that is plus 3 plus 10 plus 24 minus 45 minus 2 minus 8. You already solved this, so I am directly writing the answer, minus 18. So these are some shortcuts and some properties. See, I try to cover almost all the properties which are required for our GATE examination. Okay, see, whenever you see a property, try to put an example, that is a numerical example, and practice it. You will remember it for long time. Okay, Thank you.